Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. Not a bad-looking morning. Today's the last day of summer.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Now, for the kids who are going to school, they're saying, you got to be kidding. Summer ended a few weeks ago. This is not the last day of summer. Well, this is the last day of summer on the calendar. I know the school year has already begun. And one of the things we want to talk about this morning is the time of the day after school is over. Joseph Nativo is on the phone. He's the Chief Financial Officer and Director of Kumon North America. I don't know what that is, but I'm about to learn. He wants to talk to us about after-school programs and how they are very important in a child's development. I can remember going to them myself when I was a child. Good morning, Joseph. How are you doing? There's nobody there, Robin. There's nobody there. They must have hung up.
I guess so. I guess we'll have to wait for the conference.
Well, while we're waiting for that, this is as good of an opportunity as any to tell you that, this is not, I'm not just saying this because of the topic, but when I was a kid, let me ask you this, see if we go in the same place.
Okay.
When you were a kid, after school, I'm not talking about like shooting baskets or going out to the baseball field or whatever, but where would you go for like academic after school? Where would you go?
Oh my gosh, I would go to my school because they had everything up there. They had sports and they had academics. They had everything.
So they allowed you back in after you were done with the school day?
Yeah, because they had different, just like the football guys were out on the field practicing after school. You could go in and do different labs and chemistry and stuff like that.
Oh wow! See,
with the teacher being there, of course.
Okay, see,
never by yourself.
At the end of my school day, this school was done. You were done. There was nothing.
There he is.
So the end of my school day was always the library. I would look to the library. So,
that's a good idea too.
And I want to talk about that. I think Joseph Nativo might be on the phone right now. Joseph, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, excellent. Thank you. We had a little phone problem, I guess. We were just kind of talking about the after-school programs we had when we were kids. Robin's school allowed the kids back in after school for academic reasons, if you had to study something extra. The neighborhood I grew up in, New York, this school was closed once the day was over, but we had the public library to go to. And aside from that, there wasn't really a whole lot extra. So it sounds like you've got something that is new that we haven't heard about before. Am I right?
Well, actually, Kumon's been around for a very long time. We've been around for over 50 years.
Is that right?
The program originated in Japan. And then eventually we've expanded all over the world. We've got Kumon now in 49 countries around the globe.
So for the listeners, Kumon is spelled Kumon, and if everybody is already aware of this, then I guess I'm the last to find out. But for those who don't, what is it? What exactly is the Kumon program?
Well, again, we're the world's largest after-school math and reading program. Our program is what's considered an ability-based program. So children that enroll, they enroll based on their individual abilities, and we don't limit them to their grade level or age. And then that allows them to progress in the program at a very natural pace.
Okay, so does it take place in the school?
No, actually, we have our own freestanding locations. We're in mostly retail locations throughout the country. In the United States, we have 1,500 locations, and they're all independently owned and operated by our franchisees.
Oh, really? So you could be in a mall, let's say?
Yes, strip mall or.
Well, that'd be fun for the kids. I mean, you go to the mall and you learn something. So what age group are you typically seeing showing up?
We'll take them as young as 3 years old, right up to high school. I mean, we do see a lot of kids in elementary school enroll in the program, and they visit the center twice a week for about generally 20 to 30 minutes per subject.
And this is a wonderful mentoring and tutoring program for all students, not just students that are in financial distress.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, we're an enrichment program, we're a remedial program, but, we try to reach out to as many children as possible. And I think affordability is the key here, because we try to keep our tuition extremely affordable. I mean, on average, the monthly tuition is about equivalent to your monthly cable bill.
So have you ever had a situation, Joseph, where, let's say, a student comes to you, let's say you could have a high school student, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so let's say a high school student just isn't grasping, I don't know, algebra or one of the upper maths, right? Mm-hmm. And so they go to you guys. Have you ever had a case where the teacher at Kumon is actually, I don't know, the student is grasping it better from that teacher than from the school teacher?
Yes, well, I mean, we have a very unique program because we're not tutoring what the kids are doing in school. We're placing them in the program based on their ability. So they'll take a placement test, and then we try to fill in the gaps. So if they are struggling with some algebra, that's where we're going to zone in on and really build their skills in that particular area, and then hopefully advance from there. And what the ultimate goal is to have kids in our program studying above their grade level.
So how does this work? Does a parent show up at your storefront, let's say, and say, this is my son Johnny, he's in the 7th grade, and could you give him the exam and we'll see where he needs a little help? Could you do that?
Yes, that's exactly how it works. It's an individualized program. So if you visit a center, you may see 30, 40 children studying, but they're all studying at their own pace, at their own level. It's not a classroom environment where everyone's at the same level.
Okay.
Everybody's working individually.
Is there a teacher, or is it done with computer desktop
Yes.
instructions?
We have our Kumon instructor who's overseeing the classroom and administering the program.
How do you help 3-year-olds?
3-year-olds, we just start with very basic, number skills, counting, learning the alphabet. We started, very basics, for a 3-year-old.
Really?
And do you have snacks provided for them?
We do not provide snacks. No, we're just there for the academic program, the math and reading program.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you said you've been around 50 years, but I honestly hadn't heard about this before. This sounds like a really good idea. Do you have a website?
Sure. You can visit us at kumonfranchise.com to learn about the franchise opportunity. We've been ranked #1 by Entrepreneur Magazine for the last 14 consecutive years as the #1 education franchise.
Oh, okay. So I could open up if there's not one in my town. Do you know if there is one in Ocala? Do you not know, or can I look that up?
Yeah, you can look that up on our website to see all the different franchise opportunities based on your zip code.
Oh, okay.
And are all the teachers there accredited instructors?
No, you don't necessarily need a teaching background. I mean, we want someone with a 4-year degree, but because you're going to be administering our own internally developed curriculum, so we'll put you through a vigorous training program and provide you with all the materials you need. But, we look for people that want to help children, work with children, but you don't necessarily have to be a teacher to be a Kumon franchise owner. Well,
if you are like me and you never heard of this before, I just went to KumonFranchise.com. There's a video where it says how Kumon works. Watch how you can help your students build a lifetime of math and reading success. Is there any age limit at all? Can a 25-year-old go in there, like a college student?
Yes, we've had adults before. Absolutely. I mean, we typically see more elementary age school students and some high school, but absolutely, we've had adults enroll in the program as well.
Huh. Well, I'm glad we got to talk to you today, Joseph. Thank you for being on the air with us. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New Jersey.
Okay. Well, for the listeners here in Ocala, Florida, look it up. Kumon, Kumon, franchise.com. Sounds like a business opportunity as well. So, yeah. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today with a high of 85 to 89, then partly cloudy tonight. There may be a shower in spots along the coast, below 70 to 74. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a passing thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 85 to 87. On Thursday, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm, high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hospice of Marion County has an urgent need for volunteers to share a conversation with someone, run errands, hold someone's hand. All you need is a willingness to help others. Our volunteers believe the blessings they receive far exceed the services they offer. Will you consider serving, caring, and making a difference? Call today, 873-7441. Hospice of Marion County, making more moments of life possible.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your mobile Verizon rep. But not just here, I'll deliver the phone to you in your home. While I'm there, I'll only sell you what you need and I'll personalize it to you. Want to have me get you connected? Then call me at 352-528-0020. I even offer unlimited home phone service for just $20 per month. Just call me, your mobile Verizon rep, at 352-528-0020.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking, will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
18 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. We were talking a little bit earlier about the libraries, and if you're familiar with what's going on with our libraries here in Marion County, then you probably know that the Marion County Commission is considering privatizing the public library. And so there's a campaign to persuade them to not do that. The Friends of the Ocala Public Library has launched the campaign to convince the Marion County Board of County Commissioners to not privatize the library system. And if you agree with that position, there is a campaign. What do you call it again when you're signing a petition? There's a petition that you can sign online, and we have a link to the petition on the WOCA Facebook page. Let me do that right now and tell you how you can do this. The WOCA Facebook page, if you don't already know, is facebook.com/newstalk.WOCA. And the reason I'm kind of spelling it out for you is because there is more than one WOCA Facebook page. It's not that they are bad or anything. They were our old sites, but this is actually the one that we use now. So it's facebook.com/newstalk.WOCA. And on there, if you scroll down, you will see, I think it's the second thing on the list here, a link that will connect you to the petition where you can vote to ask the county commission to not privatize the Marion County Public Library. The mission is pretty simple: keep the public library public. Now, there's a whole list of reasons why you and I, as the general public, would not want our public library to become private. And I can go through some of them for you. You can look online at the petition, and they will go through it with you on there. So I want to kind of share what they're saying on there. Tax dollars collected from the Marion County citizens should be used solely for the betterment of the county for the citizens. They should never be used to contract our county public services to a for-profit company, and they're calling the for-profit company LSSI, whose only desire is to enrich, of course, their shareholders. That's one of their points. Now, you might say, well, a private library is still a library. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But study this a little bit and make your mind up if you want to get on board with this one. The next point that they make is that every citizen currently has the right to all the financial records explaining where their tax dollars are being spent. If a for-profit company has control of those funds, no one will have access to those records again. And don't make the mistake of thinking that tax money won't pay for it, because tax money does pay for it.
Yeah.
The county will be left with the bills after they have handed over the budget for the library. The for-profit company will not pay for the unemployment benefits for the people laid off, which will be about $267,000, which means that when they say the county pays for that, that means you and I pay for that. That's right. That's our tax money. Not to mention the fact that some people who've been doing a good job all these years suddenly are laid off through no fault of their own.
Exactly.
Because quality library staff have constantly treated public assets with the utmost caution and care to meet the needs of all of us here in Marion County, a private for-profit company will not practice the same caution and care with public assets, especially the companies not locally based. And if you want to find out who exactly is asking to privatize our public libraries, I guess you could find out from the website.
Yeah, we'd have to find out their track record and things, but this is not a good idea.
The Marion County Public Library System has been directed to reduce their proposed budget by $500,000. During the past 6 years, the library budget has been cut by $3.5 million already. The proposed budget would be presented to the Board of County Commissioners during the budget hearings coming up. There's one more, which is this Thursday at 7 p.m.
Yep.
This Thursday at 7 p.m. if you want to be there, or if you want to express your opinion for or against this. We're taking the side against it. We're not speaking for the radio station. No. We're speaking for us personally.
Yes.
The library's accomplishments as a public library, they have added e-content, so you can now borrow a book, a virtual book. I've done it myself from the library. You can have a book on your Kindle that you do not pay for. They have increased their broadband access to all of the libraries in the county. They've converted most branch libraries to on-demand desktop streaming computers. Numerous community partnerships have participated in the public library, including Jerry's Pawn and Gun, Public Supermarkets, Altrusa, Best Buy, CareerSource, that's CareerSource, CLM, Children's Alliance, Golden Flake, the Heart of Florida, the Kiwanis Club, something called Success by Six, and United Way. They've all been pitching in. And so that's kind of the whole message right there. The effort began as one to address the budget cut, but during visits with the commissioners, the Friends of the Library learned the commissioners were quietly researching the privatization of the library to an out-of-state for-profit company. The move would turn over the library's systems operation to a private company, but not the ownership of the buildings, nor the maintenance of the buildings. The county would pay the private corporation a fee to operate the library, which would also supply the company with funds to pay the company's stockholders a dividend. So where do you think the county gets the money to pay the private corporation? From you.
Exactly.
So your taxpayer money still pays for the library, and yet it's called a private library. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
So if a private entity wants to open up a private library in a town, they should simply pay for the building, pay for the books, and have some kind of a system that'll compete with the public library. But that's not what they're doing.
No.
What they're doing is they're saying, we want to take your already successful library system. You have built this very successful, not broken library system, and we're going to make it better by being a private company and taking over. We'll do that part for you, but we don't want to maintain the building. No, we're not going to sweep the floors. We're not going to fix the windows. We're not going to fix the air conditioners. That's your job. That's still your taxpayer's job. Our job is to operate the library, the books themselves. Who actually maintains the books? Still the taxpayer does.
Exactly.
So this whole notion, and if you want to look into this, look up other cities that have been persuaded to do this, coerced to do this. Look at the success rates of those libraries that have gone ahead and done this. Look at how many of them have turned around and said, gosh, that was a mistake, and they went back to being a public library.
Yeah.
We don't need to make that same mistake. I don't know who's being persuaded by whom.
I have no clue.
According to Ocala Friends board president Carmen Maines, the privatizing of the library system would be the end of being a public service to meet the needs of all Marion County residents.
Yeah, it's such a shame. Such a shame.
Regarding the budget cut, one of the ways the library will be forced to deal with the proposed cut is to close the headquarters library on Sundays.
It doesn't make any sense either.
A survey of patrons attending in the last 2 Sundays when this letter was written revealed all but one of 45 people interviewed would not be able to access the library on other days of the week.
And that was only a handful of people.
No, it was
45.
Yeah, but all of them, except for one, would not be able to access the library on other days of the week. So that means they have to have Sundays.
Well, sure they do.
Sundays is important. Other cuts will be staff positions, book purchases, computer repairs, upgrades. And P.S., may I remind everybody that a public library is not necessarily a public library, but the Marion County Public Library System, the one that you and I have volunteered to help with in so many times, is a system that really has programs for the community.
Yes, they do.
They show movies. They invite you to different events. They've had authors who have all been present to talk to the general public about their books. That's an amazing thing to do.
It is.
We've
Children's programs.
Got some amazing people working at that library. What was that?
Veterans.
They have the veterans program. What was the program for young people to imagine things and to create things?
Oh, Create.
It's called Create.
Yes, the program
right?
Create.
Create.
Yeah.
All right,
Everything
so
from filmmaking to writing to costuming, wonderful stuff.
It seems to be a political issue, and if it is, then we're taking the side of keeping the public library public. And I'm not necessarily speaking on behalf of the station, although nobody's told me they don't agree with this.
Right.
But anyway, if you want to help out, two ways you can help out. You can show up at the meeting Thursday at 7 p.m. at the County Commissioners Auditorium. And you can go online to the WOCA Facebook page, and you'll see right there a link where you can sign the petition, which says, "We, the undersigned, want the Marion County Board of County Commissioners to immediately stop considering privatization and or outsourcing of all or part of the Marion County Public Library systems,
that's right,
services, and its personnel." Right. Share this with your friends and Facebook people, with your Twitter people. They make a good cause, a good case, I should say.
They do. Huge, wonderful case.
Here's some statements.
Public.
Here's some statements from some of the people who just commented on this. A guy named Richard O'Brien wrote, "As a taxpayer and registered voter of Marion County, I find it reprehensible that in 7 years there has been no cost of living increase and a 3% deduction for retirement on top of diminishing budget. The professional staff at the Marion County Public Library System has still been able to receive numerous awards with the motto, 'Do more with less.' And this is how you repay their dedication, not only to our library system, but to the county as a whole."
Good for him.
There you go.
Good for him. County commissioners, take note.
William Calvert posted, "Marion County libraries are some of the best in the state. This is something we should all take pride in. Outsourcing for profit will degrade what we now have. It's time for our commissioners to do a better job of managing our taxes instead of giving away what the taxpayers own to private source, or maybe it's time to replace our commissioners."
There you go.
All right.
Here.
And here's one from Janet Salter. She wrote, "The library in Dunellen is the cultural hub of our community. It is always buzzing with activity. It is the jewel in the crown of Dunellen. It must remain public with a professional staff and free access to all."
Good for her.
It goes on and on and on and on and on. If you want to sign the petition, you want to read the rest of the comments from other citizens like yourself, go to the WOCA Facebook page. It's facebook.com/ what is it again? newstalk.WOCA. Sign the petition, and thank you. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. We're hearing from some GOP presidential hopefuls on the latest candidate to suspend his campaign. Ben Carson speaking a short while ago about Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker leaving the race.
It's just not the right time, but, I have nothing but admiration for him.
Walker had urged others to quit too and clear the field.
He's talking about making sure that